Hi everybody, welcome to Whispers from the Dark, episode number 3. Today I hope to talk to you about Darkness number 1. It's time. This book came out quite a while ago. It's got a lot of covers. We have the standard cover. Here we go. And then this was the regular variant cover. This is the Platinum edition. I don't know if you could tell, the logo is in a shiny metal color. Then there was the Wizard Ace edition and a black and white edition, a black and white variant edition. I like this one. I think this is the only place it's ever been produced. Then there was the Fan Club edition. Yes, I was part of the fan club, short-lived. And finally, there is an Image Firsts edition. There may be more, but this is what I've got. Before I jump into the review this week, I just kind of want to mention that I've decided on one or two changes. The first change is I really feel rushed a lot of the time trying to fit my video into the 10-minute mark. So I think that causes a little bit of difficulty on my part because I have to edit out little bits and I glitch a lot more because I'm rushing. So for now on, I think I'm just gonna make the video as long as it ends up being. I doubt it'll be much more than 20 minutes maybe, and then just break it into parts. I think that'll be a little easier for me. And the second thing is, I don't want to censor myself. I don't want to tiptoe around what I think is cool. So this is your one warning. My show is full of spoilers. That's it. So if you don't really want to hear what's going on, you know, that's the one time I'm warning you. So anyways, let's get started. So the first thing that happens in this issue is, Jackie's sitting in a garage and he's watching this guy and he's talking to his Uncle Frankie on the phone, and they're discussing whether or not he should bump him off. And Jackie's opinion is basically, why not? They show a picture of him, and you can see it here where he's shown all in black, and this is to illustrate that he's really not a good guy. But I guess as a reader that's part of his charm. So anyway, they kill this guy, and then he goes about his day. He meets Jenny, so we get that introduction to some supporting cast. They show a clip of Sonatine from the Brotherhood of Darkness, and they're starting to plot about how they're going to be trying to wrangle control of the darkness. And the next page shows the Angelus, and she's the arch nemesis of the darkness, so she's trying to figure out how to kill him. So the next thing that happens is Jackie goes to see his Uncle Frankie thinking everything is fine, and Frankie's on a phone call, and the guy on the other end is the head of the rival crime boss, and his name is Marciani. He's from the Marciani family. And they get into an argument over the guy that Jackie killed. So this basically starts a war. So I guess maybe it wasn't such a bright idea to start the war, to kill the guy. But, they make a comment that it probably would have happened eventually anyway. They also discuss that there's probably a rat in the organization, and they even suspect one of the guys in the room of it, and he dies a pretty sad death, but it's done in a very humorous way. Go Garth Ennis. You got to read it to find that out. After that, Jackie goes back to his apartment to gear up for war. He wants to get ready, and as he's doing this, he is starting to hear whispers from the darkness. It's starting to try and entice him to release it and to use it. And he has no reason to do so yet, but then in come the Brotherhood, and they are there to try and rescue him from the Angelus. So they haven't gotten there yet, but as soon as the Darkness Brotherhood gets in there, the Angelus shows up too. So they attack Jackie next, and basically, finally, he releases the darkness for the very first time, and all are destroyed. So once that happens and the dust settles, out pops another hitman that was sent by the Marchiani family, and he's about to bump Jackie off, but of course Jackie is now the darkness, and he goes ahead and tears the guy a new one. Unfortunately, at this point, he goes ahead and he calls back his Uncle Frankie and finds out that his Uncle Frankie has had a hit put on him, and he's now in the hospital. So that's a bad thing, and Jackie snaps, and he decides that at this point he's just going to take care of the whole war right then and there. So he goes ahead, excuse me, and he goes to the home of Marchiani, and using his newly found powers of the darkness, he attacks him from outside the gates. And the way he does this is he sends his tendrils through the sewer system to Marchiani while he's sitting on the can. I know, it is that just what you heard, and you know what? It's a very funny part of the book, and I would even say that it's one of my favorite parts just because of how absurdly funny it is. After that, the darkness pretty much embraces Jackie. It tells him that it likes him. I think it has big plans for him, and it likes that he is a violent guy. Jackie seems pretty undaunted, and he is ready to take on the role as the darkness because I think he has a taste for the power that it gives him. So my closing thoughts of the issue was that it was really good. I mean, the art was great. Everyone behind the book, was at the top of their game because this was the new big property, and I think they knew they had something really cool, and they wanted to make sure that they did it really well. And writing wise, it was just as good. I mean, Garth Ennis really hit it out of the park. You have to be into kind of that ultra violent, dark humor, mob supernatural stuff to really get into it, I guess. But at least the dark humor and the violence anyway. But a lot happened story wise in this issue. Jackie was introduced, the supporting cast was introduced, the beginning of the main conflict. Actually, this whole book was a big conflict in itself with the Marchiani family, and that was all in one issue. There was a war started and completed during the whole issue. So it was really good, and you didn't really know that it was the end of the arc yet by the end of the series, by the end of the issue. I mean, it's not the end of the arc, but it could have been. It could have been a one-shot, and it would have been a satisfying, issue. So, they did a really good job, and, I was still looking forward to the second one, so they did good.